maybe 2 softball throws, if you're a little short guy like me. But some of them big guys like Bo Jackson could throw that ball from out there on the fence line and catch that guy at the home plate. Y'all remember that? Oh, he snagged that guy right out. But anyway, we're down there on the street, and we are starting to see things move. And this man stood across the street drinking them big tall beers. Y'all remember them tall boys? He didn't even have the smarts to put paper on them. He just drank them, throw them on the ground. Just piles of cans and broken glass all over the street that we're preaching on. So you know we're in a heavy spot. Sin is amok. It's everywhere. And he's standing over there, and I'm thinking, man, he just keeps standing there. And I'm preaching, and I get a little loud, and I've got this hillbilly twang to my voice, you know. No, I know, hard to believe I'm a Yankee. But anyway, he's standing there, he just keeps, and it's got to the point he's starting to call me. You ever had that situation where you see them and you go, uh-huh? And you keep preaching and you're talking to anybody and everybody that walks by. Everybody. And I got a big old sound system that they had brought out for us to speak on. We got a pulpit. We're doing everything we can to preach the word. And he just keeps staring. And I said, huh. So I just finally said, okay, I'm done. And I turned everything back over to everybody else. And Marcia and the ladies, they were doing business by talking to everybody that come by. People coming by, Pastor, they don't even speak English, but they would stop and listen to us. And you could see their eyes moving. So they're receiving something. Amen? That spirit will bring you. That spirit will talk to you. That spirit will move you in the direction it needs to move you. Amen? That's what was really going on. But unknown to me, I finally said, I need to go over and talk to this guy. So I walk over there and said, how you doing? And the first thing he said was, what are you doing here? And he's a big, young, strapping man. I mean, he was 6 foot and kind of big, broad-chested, construction kind of guy. And he told me that, and it was more of a, I don't want to say a challenge. But as another man, I'm looking at him going, well, I tell you what I'm doing here. God sent me down here. He said, why would he send me or send you or anyone to this wretched, forgotten place? And I'm looking at him like, ooh, this pastor done prophesied this is going to happen. But he was supposed to have been in a restaurant. So I said, well, I'm trying to get him off the street because he is doped up and drinking at the same time. He tells me I'm on heroin. And it's starting to wear off, so I bought this beer. And I'm trying to drink this beer because I didn't get no job this morning because nobody picked me up while I was on the corner. Did you get that? People stand on the corner waiting for somebody to pick them up to go to a job site to do some work for today, pay me for today, cheat me out of $1 possibly. I ain't saying it, but that's the way it is down there. And I said, well, look, dude, are you hungry? Let me buy you dinner or breakfast. And he says, no. He said, let me buy you breakfast. And I thought, I know you ain't got much money. So we go into the restaurant. So he buys 2 breakfast burritos and 2 Cokes, $9. And he's digging change, I said, brother, I got this. He says, no. He says, hey, you preached this morning. You let me pay for this. I said, okay, brother, you do that because I don't want to steal your blessing. Did you get that? Sometimes you need to let them bless you. Amen? That's what we're seeing down there. And it was just turning us on. Well, he turns around and he's in a mid-stroke of a bite of that burrito and he goes, boom. He basically passed out on the burrito. And I thought, yo, dude, wake up. Please wake up. And he bounced his eyes open. And what's he say? What are you doing here? And I said, I told you, the Lord sent me. And he's awake. That's the first big thing that we ran into down there. Now, my wife had experiences down there on the street, so I'm going to let her, if you don't mind, Pastor, please. 5 minutes, please.
If I get emotional, please excuse me. But what we saw, and we know it's everywhere, It's everywhere. But this, by the Lord sending us down there and making us face it, this is what's going on. There was a guy named Garcia. He had been in Iraqi war, Afghanistan, and he had come up to me, and I asked him if he knew the Lord, and he says, "Oh yeah, I know him good." I said, "Great, great." And he said, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "Well, yeah." He says, I need to tell somebody my stories." "Yes, sir, let's sit down." I get him a bottle of water, and he said, "I need to tell you what I've done in the war." I said, "Okay." He didn't go into heavy detail. He'd seen people killed. He had killed people. He had let things happen that he shouldn't have, but he did. And I was trying to tell him, all you have to do is ask forgiveness from the Lord. "Lord, forgive me." That's all you got to say. "I've done this, this, this." The Lord's going to forgive him. He said, "No, the Lord will never forgive me for what I've done and what I've seen and what I let happen. No matter what I said to him, I couldn't move him." He came back the next week. He wanted to talk some more. So I let him talk. He needed somebody just to listen to his stories. He needed to get them out. And I was that person. And at the end of telling me some more stories, he asked me, he said, "Now you tell me how proud you are of me." And I looked him eye to eye and I said, "I am very proud of you." He did things. He let things happen. But he was in war. He didn't ask to go over there. But he needed to talk. There was another guy. His name was Joe. Joe was another alcoholic. He had his stories. A lot of veterans are there, homeless. In El Paso, they don't care where you come from, what color you are. They don't care. If El Paso can get its hooks in you, you're gone. We saw it over and over. You get a speeding ticket, they had you nailed. They were padding the books. And you had to come up with all this money that you don't have. So you go to jail. What are you going to do? You're going to try to get out of jail to get back on the streets. We met another young man. His name is Fabian, 29 years old. We had gone to Pastor Chu, it's called a rehab church. And I was standing out in the foyer, and this young kid, he looks like he's not over 20 years old, but he's 29. And when I looked at him, my spirit knew this kid was good. My spirit and his spirit connected. And I went over to this young guy and I started hugging on him. I was crying because my spirit had connected with him. And this kid needed help. After we got to know him and talking to him, he told us his story, what had happened. he had come down to
From Amarillo.
Amarillo to El Paso to help his cousin. His cousin caught him asleep, took his truck, his money, and went to Juarez and sold his truck out from underneath him. His own cousin. Yeah. This kid was sound asleep. Somehow the cops came in because they heard the cousin was there, but the cousin had left. So they came in and they got Fabian, which was the only guy there, for drugs and I don't know what else. Fabian had gone to jail. To get out of jail, he said, yeah, I'll do this. All he wanted to do is to get out of jail. Well, he was going to see his parole officer weekly, like he was supposed to, or monthly, whatever it was. And then they told him, you owe all this money. And Fabian says, how am I going to get all this money? The system. The system is what will get you. It's not the police. It's not this. It's not that. It's the system. The system is broken.